And when they refer to America, because people still stuck on this, America's not Babylon. They call America her. So who else is the her? They say, for she has said in her heart, I sit a queen and am no widow and shall see no sorrow. Because you have a lot of people in the military too. When you hear about this war stuff, they be like, oh, well, we got the military and the Marines and the Navy. Man, hey, you look and see who in the military now. There ain't no warriors in there for real, for real. They mainly use technology. But when it come down to actual combat, they got a bunch of sodomites in there. Which says, in verse 8, therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is the Lord Yahweh who judgeth her. And the kings of the earth, who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her, shall bewail her and lament for her, when they shall see smoke of her burning, stand afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, alas, alas, the great city Babylon, that mighty city, for 1 hour is thy judgment come. Because it's already been tested and showed numerous times by these missiles and these nukes. They only take half an hour to an hour to reach its target, to go up out of space and then come back down and hit its target. So when you read these scriptures and they talk about this place going down in 1 hour, it's going to be a build-up throughout that whole hour. And it says, stand afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise anymore. So GM shut down. Ain't gonna be no more GM cars getting sold. Ain't gonna be no more Ford, none of that other stuff. Ain't gonna be no more made in USA stuff. Ain't no more of that buying. None of that nonsense they've been buying over here. It says, the merchandise of gold and silver and precious stones and pearls and fine linen and purple and silk and scarlet and all Dian wood and all manner of vessels of ivory and all manner of vessels of precious wood and of brass and iron and marble and cinnamon and odors and ointments and frankincense and wine and oil, fine flour and wheat and beasts and sheep and horses and chariots and slaves. And where the most slaves was at, if this ain't Babylon? He say, and souls of men. Oh, because speaking of the slaves, around Thanksgiving time, when you go back, if you check out the video I had uploaded, if you just look up online, they shipped a lot of the Indians to places like Spain, Germany, Europe, just different random places all over the world. So they took slaves from over there, and it says, and souls of men. It's saying the fruits that thy soul lusted after are departed from thee, and all things which were dainty and goodly are departed from thee. And thou shalt find them no more at all. The merchants of these things which were made rich by her shall stand afar off for the fear of her torment, weeping and wailing. Because once this stuff go down, all these countries not going to be wiped out, or wiped off the face of the earth, or wiped out by these nukes. So it's still going to be certain places that's still going to be left over. Still going to be able to see what's going on. Still going to have certain news channels being broadcast. So some of the stuff going to be visible. So they're going to be able to see this like, damn, we was just doing trade and still trading oil and goods and our food and all this stuff. And that's why it's going into this in the scriptures. And it says in verse 16, it's saying, alas, alas, that great city that was clothed with fine linen and purple and scarlet and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls. For in 1 hour so great riches has come to naught. And every shipmaster and all the company and ships and sailors and as many as trade by sea stood afar off. And that's how you know it's still talking about America. Because this the main country that got ports all up and down the East Coast, West Coast, the Gulf Coast, and so-called First Coast, which is towards like Georgia area, Florida area, down to the Keys and stuff like that. So I'm going to jump in another scripture real quick. In the book of Revelations, it says, in chapter 12, verse 12, and they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither. And they ascended up to the heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them. Because you got a lot of stuff going on the internet too, talking about this false rapture or whatever, which the word rapture is not even in the scriptures, but that's just a term people came up with. But it's basically a deliverance. So they talking about aliens. It's a deception and all this different stuff. When this stuff going down, them chariots show up, which they've been manifesting a lot lately. That's how we get up out of there. That's what it says. And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither, and they'll send it up to heaven in a cloud. And that's just a word that was used back then, a cloud. They ain't talking about no cloud like when Goku on Dragon Ball Z was riding on the Nimbus cloud. It ain't talking about that. It's just how big they are and how they were shaped in the places where they dwell at. And you happen to see some of these chariots. Sometimes they cloak in the clouds. Sometimes they visible amongst the clouds and you can see them. People are recording them, all type of different stuff. All you gotta do is just type in UFOs or chariots of the Lord, and you're gonna see this stuff. It says, and the enemies beheld them. So all the people that scoff, talk down, talk reckless, people that look down on our people, treated people a certain way, maybe at jobs or just in certain locations or whatever. Meanwhile, while these nukes and all this other shit dropping, they're gonna be looking up, seeing the elect that the Lord already ordained to get delivered out of this nonsense, or this madness. I won't say nonsense because it makes sense. They're going ahead and get Babylon out of here because that's what's causing all this stuff around the world. So it says in verse 13, in the same hour was there a great earthquake, and the 10th part of the city fell, and in the earthquake was slain of men 7,000, and a remnant were affrighted and gave glory to the God of heaven. Say the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. So I'm gonna go into some more scriptures to talk about some more before I end this off. Because that second war, it was a real serious ass war. And them scientists that was working on a lot of the missiles and all that different stuff, like the scriptures say, I created the smith to blow up the coals. And most I created them missiles ultimately, but he put the spirit on them scientists to come up with ideas for it, because they'll sit there and be like, oh, I came up with this new idea. But really, it was through the spirit that idea popped in their mind while they were asleep. So bear with me for a minute. Let me find these other scriptures real quick. It says, as in the times of Noah. Because in the times of Noah, people was doing some of the same nonsense, wilding out, not paying attention to the times. Then when it was too late, then everybody wanted to get right. It's in the book of Luke, chapter 17, verse 26. It say, and as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be also in the days of the Son of Man. They did eat, they drank, they married wives, and they were given into marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark. And the flood came and destroyed them all. It say in verse 28, likewise also as it was in the days of Lot, they did eat, they drank, they bought, they sold, they planted, they builded. But the same day that Lot went out of Sodom, it rained fire and brimstone from heaven and destroyed them all. Even thus shall it be in the day when the Son of Man is revealed. Now I'm going to play this clip one more time real quick just to give another example of how hot this shit is. Because and me personally, I ain't even see this. This is my first time checking out this color of this flame, but I already knew about Ryan White actually going to find this stuff. I just wanted to find a video just for edification. But this video, I was led to this video for a reason. And a purple flame, normally a flame would go with like an orangish color, yellow color, a reddish color, then you got the blue flame. But a purple flame, and then at the end of this, they talk about they didn't want to test it out in their machine because it would have damaged their machine. And the machine was made out of steel, so that's how hot this is.
In a spoon. The purplish flame is indicative.
All right, let me leave that right there. Now, it said, even there shall it be in the day when the Son of Man is revealed. So if this finna come on Babylon, hey man, I don't want no parts of this shit. And I know whoever hear this, they don't want no parts of it either. Now I'm gonna read the book of Genesis. I'm gonna close this out. I just want to go in on this topic. And this is why the Most High finna do this to this place, because you got this same stuff going on now. You look at the media and the news, See what they promoting. Got all this stuff with these different genders and all this other nonsense. People putting out the natural use. And then when you carry yourself a certain way, they look at you like you weird. Like they abhor and they uphold this folly. But just being a man and saying, "Oh, I like multiple women," they'll look at you like you a dog or look at you weird or something. But meanwhile, they going to do this sodomite shit. But I'm reading the book of Genesis, chapter 19. It says, "And there came two angels of Sodom at evening, and Lot sat in the gate of Sodom. And Lot, seeing them, rose up to meet them. And he bowed himself with his face toward the ground. And he said, Behold, now my Lord is turned in, I pray you, into your servant's house, and tarry all night, and wash your feet. And ye shall rise up early, and go on your ways. And they said, Nay, but we abide in the street all night. And he pressed upon them greatly, and they turned unto him, and entered into his house. And he made them a feast. They did bake unleavened bread, and they did eat. And the angels ain't gotta eat, but of course, they lowered themselves down just so they could come chill with Lot and see what was going on and do what they were supposed to do. But it says, and before they lay down, the men of the city, and this is how wicked these niggas was, it said, even the men of Sodom compassed the house round them, both old and young, all the people from every quarter. So it was old niggas doing it and young niggas doing it. They say, and they called unto Lot and said unto him, Where are the men which came into thee this night? Bring them out unto us, that we may know them. And when you go into what they mean by know them, that basically means having sex with them. So, and it's going to explain it as I read on. It's saying Lot went out at the door unto them and shut the door after him and said, I pray you, brethren, do not so wickedly. Behold, now I have two daughters which have not known man, which mean had sex with them. So they was virgins. You got two virgin women, and this is what these niggas say. And say, and Lot say, let me, I pray you, bring them out unto you, and do ye to them as it is good in your eyes. Only to these men do nothing, for therefore came they under the shadow of my roof. And this is what these niggas say. In verse 9 they say, and they said, stand back. And they said again, the one fellow came to sojourn, and he will needs be a judge. Now we will deal worse with thee than with them. And they pressed sore upon the man, even Lot, and came near to break the door. So these booty bandits, these niggas were trying to get in there so bad, they wanted to break the door. They was trying to break the door. And they say, but the men put forth their hand and pulled Lot into the house to them and shut the door. It says, and they smote the men that were at the door of the house with blindness. So the angels blinded these niggas, so they couldn't even find where they was going at. It says, both small and great, so that they wearied themselves to find the door. It says, and that's the power of these angels too, man, because they're going to start manifesting themselves even more. Now, I got some testimonies I'll bring out later on, Lord's willing, to talk about it, certain encounters I had, because when they come, ain't no playing around, none of that silly stuff going on. Ain't none of that funny joke around, hee ha ha, John. There be serious stuff going down when they show up. And it says, and the man said unto Lot, hast thou here any besides son-in-law, and thy sons, and thy daughters, and whatsoever thou hast in the city, bring them out of this place, for we will destroy this place, because the cry of them is waxing great before the face of the Lord. And the Lord has sent us to destroy it. So the Most High sent these angels down here to basically do what they had to do to this place. It says, let's see what else I'm going to read up. Okay. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and read on some more, just for the edification. It says, in verse 14, and Lot went out and spake unto his sons-in-law, which married his daughters, and said, Up, get you out of this place, for the Lord will destroy the city. But he seemed as one that mocked unto his sons-in-law. And when the morning arose, the angels hastened Lot, saying, Arise, take thy wife, and thy two daughters which are here, lest thou be consumed in the iniquity of this city. And while he lingered, the man laid hold upon his hand, and upon the hand of his wife, and upon the hand of his two daughters. And the Lord being merciful unto him, And they brought him forth and set him without the city. It says, and it came to pass, when they had brought them forth abroad, that he said, escape for thy life. Look not behind thee, and see Lot's wife. This how a lot of women gonna be too, because they ain't gonna want to, a lot of chicks, they don't want to leave so-called America. They don't want to leave Babylon. They want to stay here. They want to go get their doctorates and shit, their PhDs, all this little nonsense, bachelors, masters. So they want to stay in Babylon, and a lot of them gonna get what's Babylon got coming for it too. They say neither stay thou in all the plain, escape to the mountain, lest thou be consumed. And Lot said unto them, O not so, my Lord, behold, now thy servant hath found grace in thy sight, and thou hast magnified thy mercy, which thou hast showed unto me, in saving my life, and I cannot escape to the mountain, lest some evil take me and I die. Behold, the city is near to flee unto, and it is a little one. Oh, let me escape thither. Is it not a little one, and my soul shall live? And he said unto him, see, I have accepted thee concerning this thing also, and I will not overthrow this city for thee which thou hast spoken. So he basically granted him his favor, and it says that right there where the precepts go. It say, haste thee, escape thither, for I cannot do anything till thou be come thither. Therefore the name of the city was called Zoar. And say the sun was risen upon the earth when Lot entered into Zoar. Then the Lord rained upon Sodom and upon Gomorrah brimstone and fire from the Lord out of heaven. So I'll play this clip real quick, and I'll just end it on that note.
Indicative of the intense heat, which prohibited our holding the spoon as it burned. We later discovered our spoon had holes in it from the fire. Then we placed a small piece of the outer material also in the spoon and attempted to burn it, but it wouldn't burn at all.
Alright, call all Yahweh Shem Yahushua, and shalom to all the elders and the teachers, all the other apostles, and shalom to the elect. And Lord's willing, I'll make something else a little bit later. Shalom.